Hello, hi guys. We're gonna rank all of the Scooby-Doo movies. I've never done anything like this on stream, but I was thinking the other day, I had so much fun like talking about Scooby-Doo and like Avatar and stuff, and like I'm such a fan kid. I don't even know what you would call it. Like I love fandoms and stuff. Like I'm a huge Avatar fan. I'm a huge Danganronpa fan. I love Scooby-Doo now, apparently. You know, like there are just certain things that I like in this world, and I like to talk about them, and I like to share them. I can't just straight up spitball talk about things that I like for hours on end. So instead, we're gonna do like organized microphone time. We're gonna do ranking. I'm gonna talk about specific things. We're gonna rank them. Here's the ranking system we have. I have too much self-respect to watch this. This is the lowest tier. It means I didn't even watch it. This is reserved for a few titles that we'll get into when we get to them. And you'll see what I mean when we get there, but I won't watch them. I have too much self-respect simply because of the titles and some other stuff. Next tier, go to jail. Pretty self-explanatory, not good. Go to jail. Okay, all right. This is like, I guess, you know, this is fine. A little bit better than I guess, but like, I guess it's like one step down from good. Scooby Snacks is good. It was a good movie. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Hex Girls is... If you watched my last stream, you know how I feel about the Hex Girls. They are top tier. I love the Hex Girls, and yeah, that's the best. They're the best, and it's the best. Okay, anyways, so this Scooby-Doo Hollywood movie. I don't remember it much because it wasn't very memorable. It wasn't that great. I've watched all of these movies, by the way. There's 49, 50 movies. I watched all of them very recently, actually. I have no life. Anyways, yeah, Hollywood. It doesn't stick out. It's not one of those ones where you watch all of the movies and it's like the best one. There's not a lot of like good one-liners. There's not a lot of memorable characters. It's just kind of is what it is. If you like this movie, it's great. You know, I'm putting it in okay, all right, because it's not bad. It's just not, it's not as good. It's not, there are some bangers in here and this is not a banger. Anyways, The Boo Brothers. The Boo Brothers is a really awesome movie. This is like the first one I remember seeing. I remember watching this with my brother quite a lot, and we would have the best time. So like, this is like, it has a special spot in my heart just because I was so young and the vibes were so immaculate. But yeah, this one, I really like it. It's one of those ones where it's just Shaggy and Scooby and the rest of the gang isn't there. But I really like those ones. They're not necessarily better than when everyone's there, but I really like the Shaggy and Scooby dynamic, especially in this one, actually. And the Boo Brothers are funny. There's some really funny jokes in here. I'm gonna give this Scooby Snacks. For nostalgia reasons and for movie reasons. Okay, so Ghoul School. Ghoul School, this is, I'm putting it in Hex Girls right away. Ghoul School is so good. I remember, this was another one that I watched when I was a kid. I've watched pretty much all of these when I was a kid. But this was another one where I remember like watching it with my brother a lot when we were super young. And this was just like, you know, like my mom would watch it with us. It was just such a like beautiful time, you know, when we would watch it. And there's so many good memories. And like, as a film, it's really good. Like, it's Shaggy and Scooby, and they go to this, like, academy for monsters. And they're all young girls, and I think Shaggy's, like, the gym teacher. And I guess Scooby gets a pass because he's his pet or whatever. And it's really good. The vibes are really good. They form a close bond with these girls, and it's adorable. I really like it. It's funny. Shaggy and Scooby are great. The side characters are great. Really good. And considering how old it was, great. Next is Reluctant Werewolf. I'm gonna put it in like, this is fine or okay, all right. Like, I guess this is fine. It's fine. It's basically Shaggy gets turned into a werewolf and he doesn't want to be. That's, you know, it's fine. It's good. I don't love it. It's funny. It's just not one of those standout ones. Okay, so this is Go to Jail. I don't even know, I don't remember the title, but this is basically the Scooby-Doo genie movie. And it's so fucking racist. I couldn't watch past a certain point. So this is go to jail. It's not I have too much self-respect to watch it because I did end up watching it. I guess I could put it here. I can't watch the whole movie. We'll put it here. But it is so bad. It is so racist. I watched like 10 minutes and I was like, oh God, the stereotypes. Okay, next. So yeah, not a great film. Maybe I'm sensitive. Maybe it gets better. And maybe I took the whole thing the wrong way. But I didn't like it, so I have too much self-respect to watch it. Okay, Zombie Island, immediately, Hex Girls, so good. It's so good. Zombie Island, like, I think it's one of the best Scooby-Doo movies. Like, it's one of the most memorable to me, and maybe that's just because, like, it came out in the era that I was growing up in. Maybe it was, like, I just have good memories attached to it. I have good memories attached to all of these, so I guess it's not really that. It's just, it's such a good movie. It's one of the three that I was talking about the other day where, like, the monsters are real. It's one of the only Scooby-Doo films where it's not somebody behind a mask. It's straight up, like, horrific. These are zombies. These are people who have died. They got their soul sucked by some cats. It's crazy. It was so good. And it was so scary in some parts. Like, the shot where Daphne's, like, pulling on his head and she's like, oh my God, it's just a mask. Hee hee ha ha. And then the head comes off and they're like, oh my God. It's really a zombie. That's, like, so good. And so terrifying to put in a children's movie. It's so good. And Terror Time, the song that plays when they're doing, like, the big zombie chase. So good. So well composed. Brilliant. Well done. I think this is Witch's Ghost. Yeah, I'm gonna call this Witch's Ghost. I'm gonna put this in Scooby Snacks because this is another one of the movies where the monster is real, or at least, like, yeah, the monster is real. In the end, the monster is real. And it's really good. I liked it. Tim Curry, the original It. Like, the original Pennywise voices one of the characters, Ben Ravencroft, in this movie, and he fucking nails it. So good. So good. I love Tim Curry. Big Tim Curry fan. He played in the Rocky Horror Picture Show as well. He's just so phenomenal, and he kills it in The Witch's Ghost as well. The whole cast killed it, really. And again, it's like one of the ones... I think, actually, no. This is the first movie the Hex Girls appear. This is the first movie the Hex Girls are in, so it automatically gets a bump. Yeah, the Hex Girls are in it. Tim Curry is in it. The witch is real. It's really good. It's classic Scooby-Doo. Love it. Next one's Alien Invaders. Alien Invaders is Scooby Snacks. It's good. Or, yeah, it's Scooby Snacks. It's another one of those ones that came out in the same, like, era as Witch's Ghost and Zombie Island. Except this time, the monsters aren't real. They're people in masks. Which is fine. It was still very good. It focuses more on Shaggy and Scooby and their, like, relationship to... I think it's, like, Crystal and her dog something. And it's very cute. It's romantic. I like it. It's very cute and sweet. And, yeah. Can't go wrong with Shaggy and Scooby movie. Cyber Chase, also Scooby Snacks. Very good. I really like the moment in the end where they, like, meet their old versions of themselves and they have this, like, nice little moment, you know. Very cute, very sweet, but it's not as good as Witch's Ghost, Ghoul School, Zombie Island, so we're gonna put it in Scooby Snacks, but it's very good. Next is the first live-action Scooby-Doo. Now, this is a good freaking movie. I think it's Hex Girls. They killed it with the casting. I love that Daphne and Fred are married in real life. I think that's so cute. But they killed it. Matthew Lillard is currently the voice actor for Shaggy in the animated versions now, which is awesome. And this is where he started the role. So, you know, that's always awesome to see. I think they did a really excellent job. And I think the original voice of Scooby is the voice of Scooby in this movie. So it's really good. I really like it. I honestly recommend anyone to go see it if you haven't. I'm sure you did as a child, but if you did, like, go see it. It's goofy and it's definitely made for kids, but, like, There's definitely adult humor in there. It's very good. I highly recommend. This is The Curse of the Vampire or something like that. Something of the Vampire. I remember this. This is Scooby Snacks. It's good. Actually, no, I think this is fine. It's good. It's good. It's not that funny. It's not that great, but it's still like of upper tier Scooby-Doo quality. It's not the worst. It's not the best. It's really good. It's good. It's one of the better ones for sure. Monster in Mexico. This is, I think, where they face like, I forget. Oh my gosh. It's one of those legendary cryptids or whatever. I forget what it's called. But they face this like legendary cryptid in Mexico. It's fine. This is fine. Actually, you know what? I guess it's an okay alright. It's really not one of the best ones. It's pretty good. It's fine. Scooby-Doo live action, the second one. Hex Girls. Hex Girls. Yeah, Hex Girls. I think, like, oh yeah, this is the one where they bring the monsters back to life. Like, they use that machine or whatever, and they accidentally create monsters, and they have to deconstruct them. Yeah, no, this was good. I like it. It's the same cast. You know, they killed it the first time, they killed it the second time. Yeah, really like it. It's good. Loch Ness Monster. I actually really liked that. It's Scooby Snacks. This one, actually, I think it focuses a lot on Daphne, or like, Daphne's kind of a more significant character in this because they're visiting her, like, family home in Scotland or Ireland, wherever the Loch Ness Monster is. Yeah, so, like, Daphne's family is in it, and they go underwater, and the monster's not real, of course, and it's pretty good. It's funny. There's some really good actors in it. Everyone kills it, and it's good. Aloha Scooby-Doo. That's when they go to Hawaii, and a tiki monster is attacking them. This is fine. It's not the worst quality. It's definitely on par with a lot of what you would expect from Scooby-Doo. It's just not one of the better ones. It doesn't have a lot of the, like, most memorable lines. You know, it's fine. It's good. Scooby-Doo and the Where's My Mummy? This one's good. Scooby-Doo Where's My Mummy is... This is fine. Scooby Snacks. I say Scooby Snacks because it's one of the first ones. Like, Velma actually has something to do with the shenanigans that they're trying to unravel. Like, Velma is part of the mystery, which is really cool. I think it's really cool that they incorporated the gang into something, and they had the rest of the gang, like, figure it out with her working against them. I thought that was really cool. I thought that was fun. I thought it was a good way to, like, this is like, I mean, look at how far into the list we are. There's so many movies before that one, and it's a good way to, like, switch up the recipe, you know? It's a good way to break the mold, is to include one of the protagonists in the issue at hand. I thought that was really cool, really fun. Scooby Snacks. Otherwise, the movie was fine. It was good, but that little plot twist at the end was cool. Pirates Ahoy, I loved this. I thought this was really funny. Fred's parents are in this, and they're like from Minnesota. They're the funniest things ever because they're so white. They're as white as they come, and it's so funny. And they, like, spoil Freddy, which explains so much about him. It's really hilarious. And the plot's good. It's a good pirate movie. There's, like, actually a moment where there's some supernatural stuff that goes on. It's really cool. It's really fun. And, I mean, who doesn't like pirates? It's fun. I think this is... Oh, no. This is... Okay, so this is Chill Out Scooby-Doo. I can't say... I've never been able to say this word. I'm gonna put this in this is fine. They run into the I can never say this word. The abominable... I've never said this word properly in my life. You get it. The snowman, the Yeti, the abominable snowman. I can't say it properly. They run into him, and they gotta find out what's going on with that, I guess. It's fine. It's like, It's funny. It's not that memorable. It's good. It's on par with what you'd expect. I don't even know what that says. Cobra King? I have too much respect. I didn't watch this. We're gonna put this in the lowest tier because I didn't watch it. Samurai Sword. This is actually pretty good. I might put this... I'll put this in like, this is fine. Because it was good and I liked it. I do remember a lot of it. It's pretty memorable, but at the same time, it's just not like amazing. It's just not as good as the other ones. I might put this at like the top end of this is fine. Okay, so this next one is a live action version. It's the third one that was made, but it's not the same cast anymore, and it's also not the same production company, I don't believe. This one has Hayley Kiyoko in it, which I find really funny. Before she did Wizards of Waverly Place and became our bi lesbian icon queen that she is, she played Velma in this. And unpopular opinion, I actually like this movie. I know it's very unpopular opinion. I know that everyone who watches it says it's like the worst one. I actually think for a Scooby-Doo movie, it's quite good. Compared to the original live action movies, it's really terrible. Like really god-awful, stinking terrible. I don't even know why they even attempted it, but they did. And, you know, compared to its animated counterparts, it's fine. I like it. It's good enough. But yeah, it's a stinker for sure. It's not a good film. It's a good Scooby-Doo film. Abracadabra Doo. This is actually really good. I liked it. It's fine. It's really fun. There's nothing... Actually, I'm gonna put it in okay, alright. There's nothing really significant to it. I didn't really find that there was many standout moments for me. Yeah. Scooby-Doo Camp Scare. Camp Scare is actually pretty good. They go to Freddy's old camp that he used to go to when he was a kid in the summer, and they're gonna be counselors. But then when they get there, they realize like there's no kids at this camp because they had recently been attacked by a monster. So they have to like figure out what's going on. And yeah, it's really fun. Chaos ensues. Freddy gets really nostalgic and emotional and he becomes like a baby sometimes. It's so funny. They almost die, I think, because they like lose oxygen underwater. It's really good. It's fun. It's good. I had a fun time with it. We'll put it in this is fine. This is the second... Okay, so there was the first two live-action Scooby-Doo movies, and then there was the third, and this is the second one of that. So it's the same cast as the third live-action Scooby-Doo movie, but not the first and the second. So it's the fourth live-action, but it's the second with this new cast. This is fine. I think I might actually move them both down to this is fine. They were both good. I enjoyed them. Scooby-Doo and the Phantosaur. Phantosaur is actually really good. This one is like, I forget exactly how they get there, but they end up going to this like canyon and there's archaeology people and Velma meets somebody and she gets a crush on him. He's literally just the male version of her. He's like smart, he looks like her, he's got the glasses, he got the whole getup. He's just the male version of her. And turns out he's a bad dude. He does bad things. And in the end of the movie, Velma sets up a date with him after he is getting out of prison. Like, Velma! Go to jail. Anyways. Scooby-Doo Music of the Vampire. If this is what I remember it being, this is when they compete in a talent show? I think. And then there's a vampire who's like trying to sabotage the competition for them or whatever. Or maybe that's like Abracadabra Doo. No, that's this one. It's fine. It's alright. Nothing special. Same with Big Top. It's fine, nothing special, not too memorable. Actually, same with this too. All of these are like so mid to me. This one was actually quite good. This one was weird. Scooby-Doo Adventures, it was weird. It's animated weird. Like it's like claymated or something. It's completely different from any other animation style or style of Scooby-Doo movie we've seen. It's not live action. some weird sort of animation. I don't know how I feel about the art style, but it's a good movie. It's cute. I enjoyed it. Stage fright. Oh, yes. Yeah, this is good. This is the talent show. This was good. This was good. Yeah, okay, so WrestleMania Scooby-Doo is the one where I have too much self-respect to watch this. What do you mean? What do you mean WrestleMania paid Scooby-Doo for a crossover? Because, like, ain't no way Scooby-Doo asked WrestleMania. What do you mean? And what do you mean they said yes? What do you mean? I'm not watching that. I don't want to know. This could be the best movie. This could be a cinematic masterpiece. I'm not watching this. WrestleMania? Get out of here. Frankencreep. Okay, so this was actually kind of cool. This is kind of like a Scooby-Doo retelling of the Frankenstein story. I'm gonna put this in Scooby Snacks because Velma is related to, I guess, the guy who created Frankenstein or whatever, and she inherits the castle that they did the experiments in, and then she moves there, I guess, and brings the gang. And they realize, like, it's haunted and there's bad juju. And Velma ignores it and she starts going evil. And she then, like, I think you can kind of see it in the bottom here, but she puts on this, like, baddie outfit and starts going, like, mad scientist lady crazy. It's so funny. It's so good. There's a lot of funny lines. I think Fred in particular did so, like, whoever voiced Fred did so good. There's this ongoing bit in this film where in the beginning the mystery machine blew up and Fred kind of has this, like, PTSD of sorts from it. So there's this ongoing bit where Fred will have a flashback to the van blowing up, but every time it happens, they add, like, another angle to it, and they, like, keep getting wider and further out as they add these angles. So Fred just keeps having these, like, longer and longer montage PTSD flashbacks of this van blowing up, and he keeps, like, crying about it. It's so funny. So good. I very much enjoyed that. It was very funny. I can't even read this. I remember what this movie was about. It's all right. A lot of the Scooby-Doo movies, kind of, especially in the middle here, like, this was the kind of, I think this range was like 2010 to 2015, where I was just not vibing with the movies that were coming out. Around the time of WrestleMania, I was not happy with the releases. But it's not just because of WrestleMania. Like, they were flopping in that era, okay? They did step up their game again eventually, but, like, they were flopping. Scooby-Doo and Kiss. I also did not watch this. Because what do you mean? This dude is, like, putting it out to everyone. What do you mean he did collaborations with WrestleMania and Kiss? I don't hate Kiss. I don't mind classic rock music. It's nothing against Kiss. It's just, like, the fact that this dog has no business being collaborated with so many different IPs. I don't know, man. I just can't watch it. Stuff like that just screams, like, how much did they pay you to make this movie? It doesn't scream to me, like, made with love and admiration for the Scooby-Doo franchise as a fan. It just screams, like, what famous name can we slap together to create some sort of mega movie collaboration? I just don't like that. That being said, the Lego Scooby-Doo movies are really good. The first one, Haunted Hollywood, I'm actually putting it in Hex Girls. It's so good. It retains, like, the same Scooby-Doo formula, the same kind of plot, but it incorporates really well the usage of them being Lego. You know, like, they have the monsters, they twirl their heads around, and they have, like, the mask is in the front and their real face is in the back, you know, and they have their hair fall off and then they click it back on. And, you know, there's this in the second movie, which we'll get to in a minute, we'll rank that in a sec, but in the second movie they point out, like, snap your fingers, and then they all look at their fingers and they realize they don't have any, and Fred's like, oh, sorry. You know, it's just like that self-awareness of the fact that they are Lego, and the incorporation of the Lego-ness into the Scooby-Doo franchise, like that's how you do a collaboration, you know? You can really tell that they like put a lot of thought into both of these because the plots are really good. In Haunted Hollywood, I think this is actually the second Lego movie, but it's first on the list. But in Haunted Hollywood, they're at a movie studio and they've got like some creeps hanging around and the gang has got to figure it out. And it's really, really fun watching them like go to the different sets and all the different costumes and switching out the wigs. Like it's really, really fun. And I really enjoyed it. I don't even think that this first one is on this list. Oh, yes, it is. Never mind. The Curse of the Speed Demon. This was fine. This was fine. You know, it was in that time frame where I just wasn't vibing with the films that were coming out. Maybe it's a better movie than what I'm giving it credit for. I think just at this point in my watching experience, I was really worn out with Scooby-Doo. I was tired of the recipe, and they hadn't really switched up in a very long time, and a lot of the storylines felt very similar to what they had previously done, or like just too close. You know, like this is like, you know, they're racing cars. It felt very similar to the Phantasaur one. Felt very similar to Blue Falcon. Like, it's just, it felt very similar. A lot of these felt very similar to each other, which is why they kind of fall into all right. Anyway, so this is Shaggy Showdown. Again, all right. Same time period. All of these are just all right. They don't really do anything to break from the mold. It's good. It follows the formula. It does it well enough. It's kind of funny. It's suited for kids. There's maybe one or two adult jokes in there, which is great, but you know, not amazing. Anyways, Blowout Beach Bash. This is the first Scooby-Doo movie, second on the list. Again, both of these are so good. This is the one where it's also a musical, kind of. They do have, like, it's Lego, it's Scooby-Doo, and there's also a little bit of musical elements to it. Very self-aware, very funny. All the voice actors really kill it. And yeah, I just love the use of both the Scooby-Doo IP and the Lego IP. They do a really good job of mixing those. Batman. I'm just not watching the crossover stuff. Some of these I don't watch. One I forgot to watch. One I'm not watching because it's racist. The rest, it's just, I want to watch a Scooby-Doo movie. I'm not really interested in watching him crossover. You can have a different opinion than me. You can say, like, it's not, like, I should watch them. I'm not gonna watch them. I don't want to watch them. I have too much self-respect to even try. Like, it's just Batman, Kiss, and WrestleMania. It's weird to me. I just don't, it's like one of these things is not like the other, you know, and somehow they ended up in a movie together. It's weird. Anyways, this one, The Gourmet Ghost, this was pretty good. This was kind of all right. It was, it's all right. It was, again, one of those ones where I was just kind of, again, this is all, they've released, 49 Scooby-Doo movies. You would think by the time we're at, like, you know, number 30, we could figure out some way to make it somewhat different, but they just didn't. And it's good. It's a good film. It's just, they just have a hard time making things a little bit different. Return of the 13th Ghost? Or no, Curse of the 13th Ghost. This is a movie, this was really good. This is a movie that calls back to a previous show, an episode in a previous show, and it's really good. They recall a really well-known character. I forget his name, which is really funny. You'd think I'd remember him if he was so memorable, but I don't remember his name. He came back. They used him again in a movie. He was a fan favorite. I really like it. It's good plot. It starts, I like it a lot because it uses the formula and it changes it up, oh my god, by reflecting on it. So they reflect on the past. They go, oh, my old friend, you know, like, it's looking back. It shows that they, like, it's not episodal, you know? It shows that they have a past and they've reflected on it and they've been different from it and they've changed from it and they're different people now, you know? It's nice that they change the formula just by having them grow up. Just by having them have someone come back into their lives and, like, be different around them. It's like, oh, okay. We're bringing this back and we're changing it because it's different now. I really liked that. And again, it's what brought me back to being like, oh no, these are actually really good again. Because they started changing it up again here, which was really nice. Return to Zombie Island. This is a sequel to Zombie Island. Like, it's what it sounds like. They go back to the island, but this time it's to film a movie about their experience the first time there. So they're trying to recreate those moments, and they reflect on that, and they show clips from the first movie, and it's really fun, and it's just reflective of the first one. And obviously a mystery unfolds on the movie set about, you know, but it's its own mystery in its own right, but it reflects a lot on the Zombie Island mystery, which I really liked. Scoop, it was cute, it was all right, it's fine. It's not really like a Scooby-Doo movie. It's not what you would think. It's fine. Happy Halloween, Scooby-Doo, same thing. It's okay, all right. It's just not, it's one of those. I don't have to explain myself anymore. I'm not gonna. Sword and the Scoop. This was fine. I liked it. It was good. Again, it's just one of those plain old Scooby-Doo movies. It's good. It works. Scooby-Doo and Courage. I didn't watch this just because I've never even watched Courage. So, nothing against Courage or Scooby or anything like that. I just didn't have interest because, like, I don't, like, who are you? You know? Daphne and Velma, go to jail. I just watched this today. This was the last video on my Scooby-Doo journey. I literally just finished it, you know, 30 minutes before stream. It's bad. It's bad. It's live action. It's the 5th live action movie, different cast than any of the previous live action movies. It has Sarah Jeffries in it, which I love Sarah Jeffries. Has Vanessa Morano in it. I love her too. They are both queens, icons, legends, and they do, I mean, Sarah Jeffries, she does okay. I hate to say that about my queen, but she does really good with what she's given, but what she was given was dog poop. So, you know, I didn't like it. Daphne's wig was offensive. Costume department, hair department, whoever did that, shame on you. All of the costumes were really bad, and all of the sets were completely empty. You know, they're supposed to take place in a school and like in an office building, and I think everywhere but besides Daphne and Velma's bedrooms, it's just empty corridors. There's very few sets that have like a lot of thought into them. Otherwise, it's just empty corridors. And there's not a lot of good lighting in it as well. Like, there's a lot of scenes where there's a lot of room for moody, colored lighting that could really enhance the story, but they end up just going with like lights on, lights off. And there's a moment in the film actually where the lights are supposed to be flickering because the ghost is in the hallway and it's ooh spooky. And I've been on enough sets to tell that is totally just someone turning on lights off and off. That is like 2 or 3 people standing behind lights just turning the switch on and off in like a practice routine. They're doing it in sync. And I just think, because like I've been on sets, you know, of student films and stuff like that, and I just know that crew, they pulled off this routine choreography with the lights flickering, right? They got that shot and they were like, oh, yes, nailed it, killed it. We don't have to do anything in post. We're geniuses. And honest to God, they should have done it in post. They really should have. I know, like, I appreciate the effort. I really, like, the dance was cute. They did a cute little dance. They really did that thing. But I just think they should have not even tried to do that in the first place. I really think they should have, like, actually tried to make it scary. Tried to do flickering lights in some other way. Or at the very least, it's like, maybe they should get people with, like, I don't know, smoother fingers or something. Because you could just blatantly see that it was just somebody playing with light switches. The bad guy was just very clearly a dummy on a dolly being pushed. Like, it was really bad. And maybe I'm just too good of a filmmaker. Maybe I just know how everything is done and I'm so good that I clock everything. I'm not that good, I'll tell you that. There are many movies where I watch it and I'm like, whoa, and I can fully suspend disbelief. This was a movie where I could not enjoy it for the life of me. I could not get into it. There's a moment where Daphne has this like recorder pen or whatever, and it has an alien head that lights up on the end of it. And you can tell that when she turns the light on, that the light isn't actually on, but they just put some sort of mask over top of it in post that makes it look like it's glowing. But they did such a terrible job that you can tell that the light isn't on and that there's just a sticker over top of it. The tracking doesn't even track properly. Like, you can see it doesn't work. You can tell that a lot of the money went towards the actors. A lot of the money went towards the visual effects. Not a lot went into the sets. Not a lot went into maybe a lot went into the costumes themselves, but I don't know if they really did their research on like costumers and their experiencing. I don't know. I don't know much about the making of this film. I do know that this came out somewhat recently, and if I am right, it was filmed during the Schmandemic. So that would explain a lot of things, including empty corridors, empty hallways, empty sets, because extras, if you fill an empty school hallway with extras, now it feels like a school. But because they shot during COVID, they didn't have any extras. It's literally Velma, Daphne, and like the bad guys in the hallway, you know, at all times. And it's so very hard to get into a film where it's so very cold and clinical. And again, like, the lighting didn't feel like you were in a school. It felt like you were in like a photo studio or like a nail salon, you know. It didn't feel very, like, you can tell that they put a lot of money into it, but you can, like, a lot of that money went to visual effects. Not a lot of it went into like crew or script writing or costuming, you know. There was a lot of cool gizmos and gadgets, but it just wasn't very good. But yeah, that's my ranking of all of the Scooby-Doo movies. I can't believe I watched all of the Scooby-Doo movies. And all for 53 minutes of a live stream.